If you think that making movies is anything but dangerous, we have a few stories that will make you change your mind. What if we tell you that Charlize Theron and Ruby Rose could have been paralyzed while filming their movies?
It was very terrifying. I thought I was, you don't know what happens before you go into the surgery, and if I was going to become paralyzed, and I know that if I didn't get the surgery, that there was a really high chance of that happening.
Did you know that Hollywood dreamboats Channing Tatum and Hugh Jackman got serious injuries in their very intimate area? And Hollywood A-lister George Clooney was in so much pain after the injury that he even contemplated ending his life.
They were stunt testicles.
Oh,
yes,
okay,
yeah,
that's
they
good.
were not.
How?
Not Chris's actual. No testicles were harmed in the making.
All right, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's surely not the full list of shocking facts we have prepared for you today. Intrigued? Then stay with us. Subscribe to Rumour Juice YouTube channel and learn about Hollywood A-listers who suffered really bad injuries on set. Hugh Jackman. The famous Aussie has had several dangerous accidents on the set. This is basically what it takes when you play Wolverine. In 2003, Jackman nearly castrated himself, not for the first time by the way, while filming X-Men 2. He stabbed himself too close to the intimate area, in the upper thigh with his own claws. How could that happen, you might ask? Jackman reportedly attempted to cover his naked manhood from the eyes of the female crew who surprised him while he was shooting a naked scene. He covered his intimate area, forgetting about the claws. He also scratched himself next to his left eye, and now he has a permanent scar there. The actor said he had no control of his limbs at the time. Thankfully, important parts of his body remained intact and unscarred. Kate Winslet. Winslet revealed she almost drowned on the set of the iconic 1997 film Titanic. During the shooting of a scene inside the sinking ship, her coat snagged on a gate she was running past and pulled her under the water. I had to sort of shimmy out of the coat to get free. I had no breath left. I thought I'd burst. Winslet was so stressed that for the first time in her life on a film set, she wished she wasn't there. However, the movie director, James Cameron, who won an Oscar for Titanic, believes that her life was never really in danger.
I mean, you said that you nearly drowned in some of the filming. I mean, what was it like working with him, a man so driven by his vision?
It was really, really tough. Jim Cameron didn't go around just yelling at people and hitting us. He was just a very demanding director of his actors and his crew because he wanted the best.
George Clooney. Clooney's performance in the American geopolitical thriller film Syriana would eventually win him an Oscar, but not many know the price he had to pay for it. During a famous scene in which Clooney is tied to a chair, the chair was accidentally knocked over backward with Clooney still tied to it. The actor banged his head and suffered a serious spinal injury, which took him months to recover from. According to his own confessions, before the surgery, he had such horrible headaches that he contemplated suicide just to get away from the intense pain. Before the surgery, it was the most unbearable pain I've ever been through. Literally where you'd go, well, you'll have to kill yourself at some point, you can't live like this. Clooney could not take painkillers because he was afraid of getting addicted to them, since several members of his family had suffered that fate. Johnny Depp. In 2013, while filming The Lone Ranger, Depp was thrown from a horse and almost trampled by the animal. The harrowing moment was captured on film.
Let's see.
Right there, buddy.
A Dusty Depp saying he was lucky his tailbone wasn't crushed.
The actor, who was 50 then, thinks he is a lucky man to get out of that incident almost injury-free. According to Depp, the consequences could have been horrific. Depp believes the bond he forged with his horse made it react instinctively to ensure his fall wasn't so bad.
I just realized somehow that I had a good handle on the mane of the horse and the reins of the horse and one leg over.
We all remember how a similar accident left Christopher Reeve paralyzed for life. The Superman actor fell forward off a horse, landed headfirst on the far side of the fence, and shattered his first and second vertebrae. Ruby Rose. When the Australian actress departed on the superhero series Batwoman after just one season, there was not much specifics provided behind her exit. Rose disclosed the dire details sometime later. She posted a graphic video of the surgical process on her social media saying, "A couple of months ago, I was told I needed an emergency surgery or I was risking becoming paralyzed. It turns out the 34-year-old herniated 2 discs doing stunts, and they were close to severing her spinal cord.
And I just sent it to my doctor. I just sort of transcribed the whole thing and basically called, and he was like, you could become paraplegic.
Rose was in chronic pain and yet couldn't feel her arms. She had the surgery, and then, 10 days later, she went to work, which she admits was not the best idea.
And I didn't tell anyone for a long time because I didn't want to distract from the show.
But being the lead of the show, she felt responsible for the production. However, Rose told Entertainment Weekly that her decision to leave the series was not just due to her injury. She made up her mind to leave the show amid the coronavirus-related shutdown. You know, you have time in quarantine and sort of isolation to just think about a lot of different things and what you want to achieve in life and what you want to do. I think for both me and the producers, it was a great opportunity to have a dialogue about a lot of things. Jim Caviezel. For the actor who portrayed Jesus in Mel Gibson's scandalous film The Passion of the Christ, the role proved to be challenging not only emotionally, but also physically. A weird series of injuries befell him on set, more than one of which could have killed him. They include accidentally whipping the movie lead for real, leaving a 14-inch gash on his back. Also, a cross fell on him at some point, sending the actor face down in the sand and causing him to bite his own tongue. By the way, this shot was added to the film, and the blood you see pouring from his mouth is real. The most frightening incident, however, occurred during the filming of Jesus' famous Sermon on the Mount. Caviezel got struck by lightning. The actor says that smoke came out of his ears, but he must have been properly grounded because he sustained only minor injuries. Charlize Theron. A fan of doing her own stunts, Theron badly injured herself on the set of dystopian film Aeon Flux in 2005. Only 10 days into filming, the actress performed a backflip for one of the scenes and landed on her neck. Doctors were saying she might get paralyzed. Thankfully, the actress made a full recovery, but the production had to be shut down for some time. Channing Tatum. The Hollywood Dreamboat had a sensitive episode in 2010 while filming The Eagle in the Scottish Highlands. In conversation with Howard Stern, Tatum explained how it was so cold they used to pour hot water down their pants to heat up. One of the crew members handed him some water, but forgot to tell him it was not just hot, but boiling hot. So, Tatum burned his private part. The Magic Mike star described his ordeal as follows. I started hyperventilating, screaming. You know when you burn your finger and it just keeps burning? It kept burning for like 20 to 30 minutes. I was having a complete panic attack.
It was bad. It's pretty bad. Rushed me to the hospital. Gave me a bunch of drugs that still didn't take the burn away.
We can only guess how it hurt, Channing. Michael J. Fox. One routine day on the set of Back to the Future Part 3 could have cost Michael J. Fox his life. Remember the moment when Doc saves Marty from being hanged? Fox really did have a noose around his neck. As he wrote later in his autobiography, he mistimed moving his hand to save his own life during the 7th take. As a result, the actor passed out for 30 seconds. Tom Cruise. The Mission Impossible lead is famous for his commitment to doing his own stunts. Not surprisingly, over his long career in action movies, Cruise has suffered quite a number of injuries. One of such dangerous episodes happened on the set of Mission Impossible Fallout. The stunt shows Tom jumping from building to building. He comes up short and his leg crashes against the building. Cruise gets a broken ankle, but he finishes the shot just like the pro he is.
It's still broken, but I'm doing well.
No, you're kidding. Is it still broken?
Yeah, I mean, it's not fully healed, but we're shooting.
Jacob Elordi. Last but not least, the young Australian actor who got quite an unexpected injury when he was filming a scene in HBO's Euphoria. It is hardly possible to forget the series finale when Elordi's character Nate gets into a physical fight with his dad. Nate ends up having a total meltdown and starts banging his head on the wooden floor. It turned out that Elordi actually suffered a bad concussion while filming this emotional scene. He told Entertainment Weekly, "So Eric smashed me. I was bleeding. I got a concussion. I ended up throwing up after work. It was gnarly. It was really, really gnarly, but it came at the end of my shooting period. I was just wrapping up the show around that time, so it was almost like this massive letting go of everything over the 8 months that we filmed." So that's all for today. It's time for you to rewatch your favorite movies knowing all this brand new information. See you next time.